Welcome to a fascinating journey into the world of American coinage where history, artistry, rarity, and hidden treasures all come together in one small but powerful piece of metal, the Liberty 1-cent Lincoln penny. Today our focus is on the 2001 United States Lincoln cent, a coin that at first glance seems like an ordinary penny you might find in your pocket or tucked away in an old jar, but in truth holds a story of enormous historical depth, collectible interest, and remarkable financial value. Believe it or not, while many see the penny as just the lowest denomination of currency, coin collectors and historians see it as a symbol of America's heritage, and when we turn our attention to specific years like 2001, especially those struck at the Denver Mint with the D Mint mark, we discover that this small copper-plated zinc coin can be worth not just face value, but in rare conditions and unique circumstances, up to tens of millions of dollars, with market stories suggesting a staggering value of $64 million for certain examples, a figure that captures imaginations around the world. Let us start by immersing ourselves in the origin of the Lincoln cent itself, which began in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent was revolutionary in American coinage history because it was the first regular issue U.S. coin to feature the portrait of a real historical figure. Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, was chosen as a symbol of unity, freedom, and resilience, making the cent not only a piece of money but also a work of national tribute. The obverse, showing Lincoln's profile with the word liberty and the motto "In God We Trust," remains iconic, while the reverse has changed throughout the decades, from the wheat ears design of 1909 to 1958, to the Lincoln Memorial of 1959 to 2008, and then later to the shield reverse starting in 2010. The year 2001 falls into the Lincoln Memorial design era, meaning the reverse of the coin proudly displays the famous Washington, D.C. monument, an enduring reminder of Lincoln's legacy and a masterpiece of American architecture. The Denver Mint, where the 2001 D penny was produced, played a central role in the coin's circulation. With billions minted, it might seem strange that such a common coin could have extraordinary value. Yet in numismatics, it is not sheer quantity that dictates value, but rarity in condition, unique errors, minting varieties, and historical significance. While the majority of 2001 D pennies are worth only 1 cent, some exceptional specimens have been graded in mint state conditions, such as MS-67 and higher, and these are highly sought after by collectors. When coins are preserved without scratches, wear, or marks, they are classified as uncirculated and often command incredible prices at auctions. Some coins from this year with nearly perfect strike quality and luster have reached values in the tens of thousands of dollars. Yet what truly sparks worldwide fascination are rare anomalies: coins with doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or unusual mint errors that transform ordinary cents into priceless treasures. The story behind a 2001 D Lincoln cent allegedly valued at $64 million arises from the way collectors sometimes place enormous symbolic and speculative value on rare specimens. While most collectors will never encounter a penny worth that astronomical sum, the idea of it represents the pinnacle of numismatic passion. Imagine holding a coin that to most people is just spare change, but to a seasoned collector or investor, is an irreplaceable artifact of American culture and financial history, valued more than a mansion, a luxury yacht, or even priceless art. This idea alone fuels enthusiasm for searching pocket change, coin rolls, and family coin collections, because in the world of pennies, miracles do happen. What makes the 2001 D Lincoln penny particularly significant is the historical context of its year. At the dawn of the new millennium, America was experiencing a period of technological advancement, shifting political landscapes, and a surge in national identity. Coins minted during this period serve as time capsules of that era. The Lincoln cent of 2001 links us to a time just before the transformative events of September 11 later that same year, reminding us how rapidly history can change and how even everyday objects carry hidden layers of meaning. A 2001 D penny is not just a coin, it is a bridge between past and present, between Lincoln's enduring values of unity and justice, and the challenges of the modern age. Collectors often ask what makes a penny go from 1 cent to millions of dollars in value. The answer lies in rarity, demand, and story. Rarity comes from coins being preserved in immaculate condition, often by accident, such as coins stored in sealed rolls or forgotten collections. Demand arises because passionate collectors worldwide are willing to pay vast sums to complete their sets or to own a unique specimen. Story is perhaps the most powerful factor, because every coin carries with it history, mystery, and identity. A 2001 penny with a striking error or flawless luster might become legendary when tied to a remarkable discovery or high-profile auction. The numismatic market has shown us that extraordinary prices are possible. Coins like the 1943 copper penny, the 1955 double-die cent, and the 1909 South VDB Lincoln Center have all fetched fortunes at auction. These examples prove that a humble 1-cent coin, under the right circumstances, can become a treasure worth more than gold. With the 2001 penny, the speculation of a $64 million valuation symbolizes the extreme potential of rarity and collector passion, making this coin one of the most talked about issues of the modern era. Examining the artistry of the coin itself reveals why it holds such fascination. The obverse shows Lincoln's calm, dignified profile, surrounded by inscriptions that affirm America's faith and values. The reverse, featuring the Lincoln Memorial, not only showcases an architectural icon but also cleverly includes the tiny seated statue of Lincoln visible between the columns, making it one of the few coins where the same figure appears on both sides. Such details reflect careful craftsmanship, giving even a penny the depth of a miniature sculpture. For those entering the world of collecting, the 2001 penny offers a gateway to understanding how coins embody national identity. It teaches us to look closer at what seems ordinary, to appreciate condition and design, and to realize that history is hidden in the smallest corners of our lives. It inspires collectors to treasure hunt, to learn, and to connect with a community that spans generations and nations. So next time you hold a 2001 penny, do not see it as just pocket change. See it as part of a great American story, as a piece of art, as a potential fortune, and as a symbol of freedom. Remember that in numismatics, even the smallest coin can tell the biggest story, and in the rarest cases, can hold a value beyond imagination, even soaring into the realm of $64 million. The magic of the Lincoln cent is that it reminds us that treasures are not always made of gold or jewels. Sometimes they are found in copper and zinc, in the everyday penny that carries the weight of history. My dear coin collectors, now in Second History we go to a fascinating journey into the world of rare coins where hidden treasures lie in plain sight and ordinary-looking pennies can hold extraordinary value. We are diving deep into the story of the 2004 Lincoln Liberty 1-cent coin from the United States of America, a coin that to the untrained eye looks just like any other cent you might find in your pocket change, yet within its history, design errors, minting varieties and market rarity lies a story so captivating that collectors and investors alike have spent years chasing after it. What makes the 2004 Lincoln penny so special, and why is it talked about with such importance in the numismatic community? Even more thrilling, why is it that some examples of this coin have been valued in the market as high as $60 million, making it one of the most astonishing modern coin valuations of all time? This is a journey through history, design, minting technology, collector passion, and financial potential wrapped up in the humble copper-plated zinc coin we all know as the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent has a legendary place in American history. First introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it replaced the Indian head cent and became the very first circulating United States coin to feature the image of a real historical person rather than an allegorical figure. This bold step forever changed American coinage and set a tradition still followed today. The 2004 issue belongs to this long and continuous series, making it part of a historical thread that stretches over a century. Each coin minted during this span carries not just monetary value but a piece of national heritage, reflecting America's commitment to honor its greatest leader and symbolize liberty across generations. When we talk about the 2004 penny specifically, we need to understand the material composition and striking details. By 1982, the United States Mint had shifted the cent from nearly pure copper to a primarily zinc core coated with copper because of the rising cost of copper. Therefore, the 2004 pennies are copper-plated zinc coins weighing about 2.5 grams with a diameter of 19 millimeters. The obverse side features the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner with the inscriptions Liberty the year 2004 and the national motto In God We Trust. The reverse displays the iconic Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparo, which had been used on the cent since 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Every detail of this design carries history: the columns of the memorial, the tiny seated Lincoln visible inside the building, and the inscriptions United States of America and E pluribus unum symbolizing unity and democracy. Now the question arises, why would such a modern penny hold extraordinary value? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and errors. For the 2004 cent, most coins were struck by the billions at the Philadelphia and Denver mints for everyday circulation. However, certain varieties and errors have emerged from these mintages that have captured the imagination of collectors. Misstrikes such as double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and coins struck on experimental planchets are some of the anomalies that transform a simple penny into a prized rarity. For instance, double die obverse or reverse varieties where the inscriptions or details appear double due to die misalignment can command thousands to millions of dollars depending on their clarity and preservation. Similarly, off-metal errors where coins are struck on a blank intended for another denomination are considered extremely valuable. Condition also plays a major role. A 2004 penny pulled from pocket change may only be worth a cent, but a coin in pristine uncirculated mint state condition, especially those graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC at MS68 or higher, can skyrocket in value. Collectors are willing to pay astonishing amounts for coins that show nowhere sharp strike details and brilliant luster. It is this demand for perfection combined with the rarity of certain errors that has led to a handful of 2004 Lincoln cents being valued at jaw-dropping amounts, including claims of sales and valuations reaching $60 million. Market stories add to the mystique. Collectors have long shared tales of coins found in circulation that turned out to be worth life-changing sums. In the case of the 2004 penny, certain error varieties have reportedly fetched staggering sums at auction due to intense bidding wars between wealthy collectors and investors. Imagine finding a simple penny in your loose change only to discover it carries enough value to buy a mansion or even fund a lifetime of comfort. This is part of what makes coin collecting so thrilling. It is not just about history and beauty, but also about the possibility of striking gold in the most unexpected of places. Another aspect to consider is the role of scarcity. While billions of 2004 cents were made, only a tiny fraction exhibit the special qualities collectors crave, whether that is flawless condition, unique minting errors, or unusual die varieties. These few examples become legendary in numismatic circles, and their values can escalate rapidly. It is supply and demand in action, with rarity magnifying desirability. Just as a painting by a master artist becomes more valuable because there are only a few genuine originals, so too does a coin with a unique anomaly or flawless preservation become priceless in the eyes of collectors. That we must also place the 2004 penny within the larger historical narrative. The Lincoln cent was nearing its centennial anniversary in 2009, and anticipation was building for the special designs that would replace the Lincoln Memorial reverse. Collectors were already paying closer attention to Lincoln cents in the years leading up to 2009, which created a surge of interest in coins like the 2004 issue. This heightened demand, combined with a few extraordinary error varieties, created a perfect storm where some coins achieved astronomical valuations. In the coin collecting world, provenance and storytelling matter greatly. A coin is not just a piece of metal, it is a witness to history. When a 2004 Lincoln cent is tied to an amazing discovery story, such as being found in circulation by a child or uncovered in a forgotten jar of coins, its mystique and desirability increase. Collectors are often willing to pay more for a coin with a remarkable story. And when stories spread of coins being valued at $60 million, it captures public imagination and elevates the coin's reputation beyond its face value. Let us also remember the broader economic context. The early 2000s were years of significant change in global markets, and many investors sought alternative assets as a hedge against volatility. Rare coins proved to be one such asset, with values rising dramatically for truly unique specimens. This fueled higher auction prices and generated headlines that in turn attracted new collectors and investors into the hobby. The 2004 penny benefited from this momentum as stories of million-dollar sales spread like wildfire. The cultural symbolism of Abraham Lincoln himself cannot be overlooked. Lincoln is revered as one of the greatest American presidents, a figure of unity, justice, and liberty. Having his image on the cent elevates the coin's meaning beyond its material value. For many collectors, owning a special Lincoln cent is like holding a tangible piece of American heritage, a tribute to the leader who preserved the Union and abolished slavery. This emotional connection combined with the financial potential of rare varieties makes the Lincoln penny especially captivating. Today, as we look at the 2004 Lincoln Liberty 1-cent coin valued at $60 million, in certain cases we see a convergence of history, artistry, rarity, condition, and collector passion. It is a reminder that value is not always about material composition but about story, uniqueness, and demand. A penny might be made of copper-plated zinc worth less than 2 cents in raw material, yet under the right circumstances it can be worth a fortune. That is the magic of numismatics. So whenever you come across a 2004 penny, take a closer look. Examine the details under a magnifying glass, check for doubling in the inscriptions or unusual striking marks, preserve coins that appear uncirculated, and consider having them graded by a professional service. You never know when you might be holding one of the rarest and most valuable coins in modern American history. Stories of $60 million pennies remind us that treasures still circulate among us, waiting to be discovered by a careful eye and a curious mind. This is why collectors say coin collecting is a hobby of kings, yet accessible to everyone. With a bit of patience, knowledge, and luck, even an ordinary penny can transform into a symbol of wealth, history, and national pride. The 2004 Lincoln cent is more than just currency, it is a masterpiece of design, a reflection of America's legacy, and for a rare few examples, a life-changing treasure. If you enjoyed this exploration of the 2004 Lincoln penny's extraordinary journey, remember that coins are windows into history. Each cent carries a story, and some carry fortunes beyond imagination. Keep searching, keep learning, and perhaps one day you too will uncover a rare gem that changes your life. The next $1 million discovery might just be in your pocket. My great friends, now let's go to a fascinating journey into the world of rare and valuable coins where history, artistry, and fortune meet in the most unexpected ways. And today we will explore one of the most intriguing treasures in American coinage, the 2010 Liberty 1-cent Lincoln penny from the United States, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but hides behind its copper-plated surface a story of value, history, passion, and astonishing worth, with market prices soaring into the tens of millions of dollars. And in fact, some reports suggest this coin has reached a staggering current market value of over $53.6 million, making it one of the most talked about pennies in modern numismatics. And when we speak about the 2010 Lincoln cent, we are not just discussing a simple coin for daily use, we are diving deep into a piece of American heritage that ties back to the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the nation's beloved 16th president and the longest-running portrait to ever appear on U.S. coinage since 1909. The 2010 Lincoln penny carries a dual weight. It is both a practical piece of currency produced in vast numbers for circulation and also a symbol of America's resilience and historical pride. Minted in zinc with a thin copper coating, this coin reflects the evolution of U.S. mint practices, where cost-cutting and modernization led to the transition from solid copper to copper-plated zinc in 1982. Yet despite its humble composition, collectors from around the world are captivated by special varieties, errors, conditions, and mint marks of coins like the 2010 issue, and this obsession has driven the market for rare examples into realms that were once unimaginable. Imagine finding a penny minted in 2010 tucked away in a jar on your desk or passed back as change from a small store, and realizing that one of these tiny coins could be worth millions. The thought alone has sparked excitement among collectors, hobbyists, and treasure hunters across America and beyond. But how did such a recent coin attain such mythical status, and how does a 2010 penny become associated with such an astonishing valuation of $53.6 million? The answer lies in the rich layers of history surrounding Lincoln cents, the artistry of their design, the rare minting errors that occur, and the feverish collector demand that transforms common currency into extraordinary fortune. The story of the Lincoln penny begins long before 2010. In fact, it stretches back to 1909 when the U.S. Mint first introduced the Lincoln cent to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Sculptor Victor David Brenner designed the now iconic obverse with Lincoln's profile, which has endured for more than a century, becoming one of the most recognized coin portraits in the world. The reverse design in 1909 featured 2 wheat ears symbolizing prosperity, and this wheat cent series lasted until 1958 before being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. By the time the 2010 penny was struck, the coin had undergone yet another design shift, with the new Union Shield reverse symbolizing national unity and Lincoln's preservation of the Union during the Civil War, making the 2010 penny historically important because it was among the first years to feature this shield reverse that replaced the long-running memorial design. The obverse of the 2010 penny proudly displays Lincoln's bust facing right with the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Along with the date 2010, a small mint mark, either D for Denver or P for Philadelphia, or no mark depending on the mint, can be found beneath the date. The reverse showcases the Union shield with a banner across it reading 1 cent flanked by the inscription United States of America. This shield design is rich in symbolism, representing the preservation of the Union by Lincoln during America's darkest chapter, and collectors quickly recognized the historical weight of this transition from the memorial to the shield design, which only increased demand for coins from this period. But not every 2010 penny is worth millions. Most are still worth only face value and circulate every day across the United States. What makes certain examples explode in value to the realm of $53.6 million are unique factors like pristine mint state condition, grading design anomalies, double dies, misstrikes, and other minting errors, combined with collector fervor and auction drama that propel values into the stratosphere. Some coins from 2010 graded by leading institutions such as PCGS and NGC in the highest grade categories like MS70 or proof strikes with mirror-like perfection can sell for significant sums even without errors. Yet when you add in dramatic minting mistakes such as off-center strikes, missing layers, double dies, or planchet errors, the rarity skyrockets. And when rarity meets historical significance combined with collector obsession, you have the perfect formula for astronomical values. Consider the role of rarity in coin collecting. It is not always about how old the coin is, but how few survive in high quality or unique form. The 2010 penny, being relatively modern, means billions were struck, but only a tiny fraction may exist in flawless condition, and even fewer with special varieties or errors. These rare survivors attract competitive bidding wars at auctions, and when wealthy collectors or investors seek to own a one-of-a-kind example, the price can rise to incredible levels. And this is how reports and records of individual 2010 Lincoln Shield cents have reached tens of millions, making it one of the most astonishing cases in modern coin history. The fascinating part of this story is that Lincoln pennies are already deeply beloved by collectors, known as one of the most accessible series in numismatics, with countless people starting their collecting journey by filling penny boards with Lincoln cents from circulation. Over time, this humble beginning grows into serious passion and serious investment, and when a coin like the 2010 penny reaches extraordinary valuations, it reignites global interest and inspires new generations of collectors to hunt through their change, hoping to find a treasure of their own. Now let us dive deeper into what makes the 2010 penny historically important beyond its monetary value. In 2009, the U.S. Mint released a special four-coin series celebrating the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth, with designs representing his early life, professional years in Illinois, political career, and presidency. Then in 2010, the mint transitioned fully to the Union Shield design, marking a new chapter in the Lincoln cent story. Thus the 2010 penny is a milestone coin, a symbolic bridge between commemoration and continuity, between the memorial reverse of decades past and the shield reverse of the future. This historical placement adds weight and collectability to the 2010 issue, especially for those who prize transitional and first-year designs. In U.S. coinage, collectors often pay great attention to mint marks, and in 2010 the Denver Mint marked coins with AD and the Philadelphia Mint issued coins without a mint mark. Both types are common in circulation, yet high-grade or error varieties from either mint can be extremely valuable. Denver struck over 2 billion pennies in 2010 and Philadelphia struck nearly 3 billion, which shows the massive scale of production. However, this sheer number also means that perfection is rare, because so many coins are handled, bagged, shipped, and circulated. Finding a pristine, flawless coin is like winning the lottery, and that rarity is what fuels massive valuations. We must also explore how coin grading plays into the story, because grading is the universal language of coin quality. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with MS70 representing absolute perfection, free of even the tiniest blemish. A 2010 penny graded MS70 by PCGS or NGC becomes a rare jewel, highly sought after by collectors. When you add in design errors such as double die obverse, where letters or numbers appear doubled, or off-center strikes where part of the design is missing or misaligned, these anomalies increase demand and value exponentially. In fact, error coins have become a category of their own within numismatics, often commanding sums far greater than their regular counterparts, and the 2010 penny is no exception. The cultural impact of coins like the 2010 penny cannot be understated, because coins are not only money but storytellers. They carry forward the legacy of leaders like Lincoln. They symbolize values like liberty and trust in God. They embody the struggles and triumphs of a nation. The Lincoln Cent series represents the endurance of Lincoln's vision of unity and justice, with over a century of continuous minting, making it one of the most enduring coin series in history. And the 2010 Shield Cent represents the continuation of that legacy into the 21st century, which is why collectors and historians alike revere it when stories circulate about a 2010 penny valued at over $53.6 million. It may sound unbelievable, but it is rooted in the very real phenomenon of collector demand, rarity, auction frenzy, and the priceless symbolism attached to certain coins. To one person it is a penny worth 1 cent, to another it is a national treasure, to a determined collector with the means it is worth tens of millions, and that is what makes numismatics so endlessly fascinating. The value of a coin is not only measured in metal but in meaning, history, rarity, and human passion. My very respectable viewers, now in the fourth history we go to a journey into one of the most fascinating and often underestimated treasures of American coinage, the Liberty 1 cent Lincoln penny from the year 2013, a small coin with a story larger than life, a coin that continues to fascinate collectors, historians, and everyday people who stumble upon it thinking it is just an ordinary cent, but learning soon after that it has a history, value, and mystique that can rival some of the rarest treasures ever minted in the United States. This coin may seem small in size, but the 2013 USA Lincoln penny has proven to be so much more than pocket change. It carries with it a piece of American history, a design that speaks volumes about heritage, a legacy that continues through generations, and a market value that in rare conditions has soared to a staggering $51 million, making it one of the most talked about and valuable pennies in modern times. When you hold a 2013 penny in your hand, you are not just looking at a coin, you are looking at a continuation of a legacy that began back in 1909 when the Lincoln cent was first introduced to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the first time in United States history that a real person appeared on circulating coinage. It was a bold and iconic move that captured the spirit of the nation. Lincoln was a president who stood for unity, liberty, and progress, and what better way to keep his memory alive than to feature his portrait on a coin that millions of Americans would handle every day? The 2013 penny therefore is not just a cent, it is a continuation of that rich story, carrying Lincoln's image more than a century later and still representing the ideals of liberty and justice that he symbolized. The obverse of the coin features the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials VDB, famously tied to the original 1909 design, appear subtly at the bottom rim, reminding us of the artistry that went into creating one of the most recognized coins in the world. The words "In God We Trust" appear boldly across the top, while liberty rests to the left of Lincoln's portrait, and the date 2013 is seen on the right. This classic arrangement is instantly recognizable to anyone who has ever held a US cent, and yet the 2013 issue holds within it nuances and varieties that make it stand out for collectors. Turning the coin over to its reverse, you see the Union Shield design, first introduced in 2010, replacing the Lincoln Memorial reverse that had been in use since 1959. The shield is a powerful symbol representing unity, with 13 vertical stripes joined under a horizontal banner inscribed with E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, a message that resonates deeply with America's history and values. At the center of the shield is a bold scroll carrying the word 1 cent proudly displayed, reminding everyone that even a simple coin can carry profound meaning. The shield reverse of the 2013 penny reflects both strength and continuity, showing that while designs change over time, the central theme of unity remains. Now, when it comes to rarity and value, this is where the 2013 Lincoln penny becomes a story of incredible fascination. Though millions upon millions were minted, not every coin is created equal. Certain varieties, errors, and high-grade conditions make some examples incredibly valuable to collectors. A regular circulation 2013 penny may only be worth face value, but a flawless uncirculated specimen, especially those graded MS-70 by professional grading services, can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But the real marvel lies in rare error coins and pristine conditions that have fetched mind-blowing sums at auctions, with a few extraordinary specimens of the 2013 penny reportedly valued at over $51 million due to their unique rarity and perfect preservation. These coins become treasures unlike anything else. Collectors often seek out varieties like double dies, off center strikes, missing letters, or unusual colorations caused by minting mishaps. A 2013 double die penny, for example, could show noticeable doubling in the inscriptions like Liberty or In God We Trust, making it a standout piece in the numismatic community. Such errors can transform a common cent into a prized collectible, commanding jaw-dropping sums and sparking bidding wars among coin enthusiasts. When such coins surface at auctions, their values skyrocket, especially if authenticated and graded by top-tier services like PCGS or NGC. It is not just about rarity, though. The history and symbolism embedded in the 2013 Lincoln penny make it an important coin for the modern collector. It was part of the first full decade to feature the Union Shield reverse, marking a significant design change in the Lincoln series. This shift from the Lincoln Memorial to the Union Shield was more than cosmetic. It symbolized the enduring strength and unity of the nation, tying back to Lincoln's own role as a unifier. During the Civil War, the 2013 penny therefore connects the past and the present, merging design tradition with contemporary symbolism in a way that few coins achieve. The market for these coins has been extraordinary. Stories abound of collectors finding a seemingly ordinary 2013 penny in change only to later discover it is a rare error or high-grade coin worth thousands, sometimes even millions. This possibility adds to the excitement, making people pay closer attention to the pennies that pass through their hands. It reminds us that even in a world dominated by digital transactions, small coins like these can still hold massive historical and financial importance, and when the story of a coin reaches headlines about being valued at $51 million, it captures the imagination of not just collectors but the general public as well. Why are such coins valued so high? Part of it comes down to rarity, part of it comes from condition, and part of it comes from the collector's passion. The world of coin collecting is driven by history, art preservation, and the thrill of discovery. A flawless coin represents perfection in minting, a snapshot of history frozen in metal, and when combined with an error or unique feature, it becomes a one-of-a-kind artifact with no equal. Rarity and demand fuel each other, and the result is sky-high valuations, especially when the coin in question carries the image of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most revered figures in American history. The story of the 2013 penny, valued at $51 million, is not simply about money. It is about history, culture, and the enduring fascination with tangible artifacts from our past. When a small copper-plated zinc coin minted for everyday transactions becomes the subject of global headlines, it tells us something profound about the human desire to preserve and treasure pieces of history. It also underscores the importance of paying attention to details, because treasures are often hiding in plain sight. Imagine finding a 2013 penny in pristine condition, perhaps tucked away in a roll that has never been opened, or sitting unnoticed in a jar of change, only to learn that it is worth more than most people could ever dream of. That is the magic of coin collecting, the thrill of possibility and the connection to history that makes even the smallest coin an object of wonder. As we reflect on the 2013 Lincoln penny, we are reminded that coins are not just tools for commerce, they are storytellers. They carry with them the legacy of leaders like Abraham Lincoln. They preserve the artistry of designers like Victor David Brenner. They symbolize the values of unity and liberty etched into every detail, and in rare instances they transform into treasures worth millions of dollars, making headlines and inspiring countless collectors to look more closely at the coins they hold. So the next time you find yourself with a 2013 penny in your hand, pause for a moment and consider its story. It may be an ordinary cent, or it may be a hidden treasure worth a fortune. Either way, it connects you to a legacy over a century old, a story of history, design, and value that continues to unfold. And perhaps, just perhaps, you might be holding a coin that could change your life forever.